You're listening to Hooked on Creek, a podcast celebrating the music, history, and fans of the legendary jam band Max Creek. I am your host, Korre Johnson, and you are listening to episode 61. Welcome back, and thank you once again for sharing your time with me. Today I'm going to provide a complete review of Max Creek's performance back on November 3rd, 1993 at Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm grateful this night of music was taped by Greg Logan 32 years ago, and I'm excited to tell you why I love it so much. But first, I want to say that by revisiting live recordings from the archive and sharing my reflections on what makes them special, I hope I'm doing a small service, not only for the fans of Max Creek today, but for the generations to come who might one day stumble across this band's name and wonder what all the fuss was about. My goal here is to shine a light on the magic that lives in these tapes, to point people toward performances that I feel capture the essence of what makes Max Creek truly extraordinary. Today's episode is one of those moments, a show that stands out, a night that deserves to be heard and remembered. All right, now let's get started. November 3rd, 1993. For a few special hours, the veil between this world and the next seemed to thin. The air in Providence, Rhode Island had that crisp, late autumn bite, but inside Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel, the atmosphere was charged, a room brimming with anticipation, waiting to be transformed. The show begins with Cruel World, a deliberate, meditative 17-minute-long plunge into introspection, a song that offers no easy answers. Instead, it asks us to look inward, to sit with discomfort, and to face the mirror unflinchingly. The opening lines, "Take a look at what's inside your heart. If it feels right, go ahead," are not gentle invitations. Rather, they are pronouncements, challenging the very bedrock of individual will and purpose. This is Creek probing, pulling us into psychological depths from the very first resonant note. The band's performance here is a masterclass in understated power, a gentle but firm hand guiding us into introspective depths that feel boundless. 6 minutes into the song, Mark Mercier's keys begin to shimmer with slick, synthetic textures like flashes of lightning across a dark, mysterious sky. As the jam unfolds, John Ryder wields his bass like a crowbar, prying open the tightly folded layers of sound. Each beat from Greg Vassel's drum kit stitches the groove together with unwavering precision, while Rob Freed's percussion dances around the edges like intricate embroidery, fine and delicate. And through it all, Scott Morawski pulls us forward, conjuring sound like he's drawing light from a black hole. Opening with Cruel World sets the tone, raw, real, deeply human, and tinged with the inescapable mystery of inner space. And from that stark, soul-stirring introspection, Alabama Getaway erupts like a sudden, exhilarating escape from an unspoken confinement. If Cruel World was solitary reflection, Max Creek's cover of Alabama Getaway is the great unfettering, a frantic, glorious effort to break free. The song bursts forward like a whirlwind of surging energy. Mark Mercier doesn't just sing it, he lets it fly, with a looseness, a grit, a kind of reckless joy that feels earned. It's the sound of someone shaking off the weight of unspoken thoughts, a release. Next, the band sets into motion Borrowing Time. Here, Max Creek reminds us of the fleeting nature of all things, the impermanence of joy, and the relentless ebb and flow of pain. Living on borrowed time is not merely a warning, it's a truth, cold and unyielding. Max Creek covers the song Borrowing Time not with sadness, but with urgency, like a letter from your future self, begging you to wake up, to be here, to not let this, any of this, slip past unnoticed. Before I move on, I want to take a moment to talk about the origins of the song Borrowing Time. The song was co-written by Chris Hillman and Joe Lala. Chris Hillman is a founding member of the Byrds and considered a primary architect of what is generally called country rock. He co-wrote the song with Joe Lala during their time together performing with Stephen Stills. Borrowing Time appeared on the Byrds' final studio album released in March 1973. The song stands out as a charming 2-minute folk rock tune driven by Chris Hillman's mandolin playing and vocals. Given the influence of folk music in the earliest years of Max Creek, it makes sense that a song like Borrowing Time would be picked up by the band and incorporated into their performances. But of course, they've truly made it their own by putting their own spin on this tune. So if you've not done so already, I encourage you to listen to the original recording by the Byrds and you'll see what I mean. When I was researching Max Creek's performances of this song, I found a recording of John Ryder introducing the song in 1984, saying the band has been playing Borrowing Time since very early in the band's history, and they kept playing it into the late 1970s, but then they stopped performing Borrowing Time for about 7 years until it was brought back into their set lists in 1984. Lucky for us, the band has kept Borrowing Time in the rotation consistently since then. After the conclusion of Borrowing Time, the band pauses, offering a moment to breathe, to sit with the weight of what's just passed, and then, if you ask me, is conjured, not with a flourish, but like a riddle whispered through a funhouse mirror, warped by longing and doubt. The energy of the night twists. The lights within the mind begin to flicker with an unsettling irregularity. This is one of those Creek songs where love isn't pure, truth doesn't sit still, and emotion arrives in disguise. It doesn't ask for sympathy, it dares you to understand. The band's performance is defiant, unapologetic, and as the dust settles from the fiery declaration of If You Ask Me, the band sets into motion Gypsy Blue, the dream within the dream. If the first part of the set is about choices and their consequences, this 12-minute journey through Gypsy Blue signals a surrender to an unseen current, a willing plunge into the collective unconscious. Around 6.5 minutes in, the jam turns fluid, as if the band had uncorked some primordial bottle and simply let its sonic essence flow, spilling their bewildering beauty across the floor of Lupo's. Then a reckoning. The very visions evoked by the gypsy lead us straight to the precipice of judgment, to the stark, weighty choices laid bare in Fire and Brimstone. The dream world, so meticulously constructed, burns away in an instant, leaving us face to face with our unvarnished truths, our souls exposed before an indifferent universe.
I said that too. I know that I ain't that good. I'm just Just take a good look around you and you can tell that one man's heaven is another man's hell.
Mark Mercier preaches from the pulpit of the keys, warning with thunderous chords, teasing with fleeting harmonies, and urging us toward something higher. In this nearly 11.5-minute performance, Max Creek plays with an intensity that speaks of elemental forces, as if they're pushing back against some encroaching darkness. One bar at a time, each note a desperate ward against oblivion. The band stretches the limits of sound to capture the heat and pressure of existential consequence. It's the cleansing fire, a necessary confrontation with our own choices, urging us to lay down by the river and begin again. And then, like a reprieve granted by some unseen, benevolent force, the music transforms, shifting into Louisiana Sun. In this new sonic landscape, the groove is so warm it feels like honey on the soul. Scott's slide guitar is smooth, expressive, and alive, not just playing notes, but painting feeling in long, liquid strokes. Louisiana Sun wraps itself around you with an almost narcotic embrace, then looks you in the eye with a knowing smile, reminding you that joy still exists, that maybe, just maybe, everything might be okay. A glowing way to close the evening's first set of music. Set 2 begins not with fanfare, but with a hush. The return to the stage is gentle, almost reverent. The energy from Set 1 lingers, but now there's something more expansive in the air, a readiness to go deeper. From this, a 16-minute version of The Field arrives like mist over still water. It doesn't begin so much as emerge. Scott sings like someone deciphering a sacred text aloud for the first time. Each word a revelation, each syllable heavy with profound meaning. The band surrounds the song with such delicate care, it's as if they're cradling a newborn dream, fragile yet brimming with potential. Then, around 6.5 minutes in, after the verses let go, the jam takes control. Slowly, patiently, fractals within fractals, dimensions unfolding within dimensions. Mark Mercier's keys swirl like galaxies. Scott Morelski's guitar builds constellations, tiny, flickering worlds that shimmer and dissolve. John Ryder's bass is the gravitational pull, the force that keeps everything from drifting too far. Greg Vasso's drumming provides the current beneath it all, steady, fluid, almost tidal, while Rob Fried's percussion dances like sparks caught in a cosmic orbit. This is no ordinary jam. It's an odyssey into the hyper-real, a descent into forbidden landscapes, a true psychonaut's journey. Suspended in that strange, mesmerizing magic that only the field could offer, the band transitions with an almost ritualistic inevitability into Border Song, a cover that doesn't feel borrowed at all, but born for this moment. It's also a showcase for Mark Mercier, whose keys carry both the emotional weight and spiritual warmth of the piece, grounding it in reverence while letting it soar. The song speaks of deception, of the need for peace, and ultimately of universal brotherhood. It serves as our plea for harmony in a divided, unfeeling world. But even unity, that most fragile of ideals, must face its shadows, the unseen, gnawing burdens of the individual spirit. From this deep reckoning, Max Creek launches into You Don't Know. Lyrically, the song doesn't flinch from pain. It names it with a raw, visceral candor that feels almost too stark for the ethereal dream we've been inhabiting on this November evening back in 1993. In this performance, the music perfectly matches the raw emotion of John Ryder's lyrics. You can sense the unseen struggles, the deep losses, and the longing for an understanding that might never come. Next, Max Creek delivers one of its deepest, most enigmatic spells, Dark Water. For over 10 minutes, the band crafts an immersive sonic experience, inviting us to surrender to the current and accept the relentless flow of time and its deeper meanings. Where You Don't Know expose the raw ache of being unseen, Dark Water provides a retreat into solitude, not for escape, but to find a safe harbor where a fragmented spirit can begin to feel whole again. Eventually, the currents of Dark Water lead us through a graceful transition into Max Creek's rendition of Knockin' on Heaven's Door. After a night steeped in deep introspection, this iconic song arrives not merely as a familiar melody, but as a weighty culmination. On this night, Max Creek's cover of Knockin' on Heaven's Door embodies the very essence of death and rebirth and everything in between, a whisper to the void, letting go, saying goodbye, maybe forever, maybe just for now. It hangs in the air as a beautiful surrender to the mysteries of the beyond. But Max Creek does not leave us in sorrow. From the very edge of the ethereal, we are abruptly, joyously pulled back into the primal rhythm of life itself with a vibrant cover of Good Lovin' to close the second set of music. After all the spiritual and existential pondering of this night, after the journeys through shadowed introspection and cosmic revelations, the simple, potent truth erupts with undeniable force. All you need, all you really need, good lovin'. Here, the band explodes with raw, infectious energy. It's the release, the catharsis, the reminder that joy is sacred too. And finally, for the encore, the band returns to the stage to perform a cover of Not Fade Away. No other song could have closed this night, this journey. This isn't just a simple love song. In the context of this night's unfolding, it is a promise, a testament to the enduring power of connection, of music, of the shared experience that defines Max Creek. The rhythmic repetition, the relentless beat, the collective harmony, it is a potent, almost ritualistic affirmation sealing the journey with a timeless truth. And for these last minutes of this incredible night of music, the band and the audience become one, entwined in a love that feels eternal, a memory that will not fade, not ever. And when the final notes of Not Fade Away echo into silence, we feel the veil thicken once again. But for a few sacred hours, we were invited beyond it together. Now, I believe, or at least I want to believe, that Max Creek's performance on November 3rd, 1993 at Lupo's was more than just a selection of songs. It was an exploration of the human experience set against a vast, mysterious universe brought to life by the magic of Max Creek. I think this recording from November 3rd, 1993 serves as a potent reminder of music's enduring power to transform and transcend. All right, that concludes my review of Max Creek's performance on November 3rd, 1993 at Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel in Providence, Rhode Island. You can stream or download this entire Max Creek show on archive.org. Just take a look in the episode show notes for a direct link. And if you have feedback about this episode or recommendations for future episodes, visit hookedoncreek.com and click the contact link to send me a message. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for tuning in.